Hello, and welcome to my video about my Lego creation, the Lego crane powered by Lego Mindstorms NXT 2.0. This project is not done. It's a work in progress, so this stuff still can change. But anyway, this crane is powered by the Lego Mindstorms NXT 2.0, and it uses the Lego Power Functions remote controller to control it. Out of the 4 actions that we can use, out of the 2 controllers that make it up, we're only using 3, but that's fine because we only have 3 motors to control. It makes sense. So the first one, if you push it down, or up, it moves the hook, which is connected to this container-like thing at the moment, up or down. The second control moves the trolley forward and back. Simple. And then the third action turns it. Now, the way I was able to get this to work is that the motor that's responsible for the winch going up and down has a motor attached to it that is connected to a spool of string, and that gets fed through the hook. The way the trolley moves is that I have a motor that's hooked up to the trolley, and it's on a loop. So the motor is connected to the trolley on both sides. So it's always pulling on it, because you can't really push a wire without it getting stuck or not moving. The third action is the rotation, and it's controlled by a motor that's attached to a gear train, and spins this custom turntable that I made. I had to make it custom because the one that Lego makes wasn't sturdy enough. It moved around a lot, and this is a lot more sturdy. Now, the sensor that I'm using to pick up the infrared from this controller is up here on the IR mast. The reason why it's on a mast is because, as you can see, it worked fine, but I'm right next to it. So, if you want to go further away, you can raise the mast, and if you connect the mast correctly, if you connect it correctly, it goes up, and then you can go further away and control it. Anyway, so, as you can see, this crane's not very tall right now. That's because I only have one riser attached to it. Currently, there's one riser here. That's a taller riser. And here, I have a taller section that's actually made up of 2 risers. Now, there's one special riser that's used over here to connect the crane body to the shaft, the tower, and it's special because it houses the mechanism that allows it to connect and easily disconnect if there's a problem, and or you want to store it, which is neat. Now at the bottom you have the base, which is modular as well, so that you can replace it if you want to, and you can make a bigger and better one, which I'm probably going to do because this one's kind of not very good at the moment. It sucks. Yeah, it does. So here we are in the program that I wrote to control the crane that you just saw. At the top here in C, which is what I'm using to program it using an environment called Robot C. Up here we have the preprocessor defines that tell the NXT that there is 3 motors here, and we have a sensor, which is the infrared receiver that you saw. Now we're going to import a library that allows us to use the sensor. It's a .h file, so it's a header file. And then we enter task main, which is what the program runs. So then it defines some variables that allow us to control the motors. And then in this while 1 loop, so that it runs forever, while 1 is equal to 1 is essentially what it means. So while 1 means this, while 1 is equal to 1, which is forever because 1 is always going to be equal to 1. Then it reads the 2 channels on the infrared receiver. There are 2 parts to each channel because the controller has 2 different sticks per controller, and we have 2 of them, so we're reading 2 of the 4 channels. And we're setting the variables that we defined earlier to equal 1 or 0 based on what input it's receiving from the receiver. Cool. Now we have a series of 3 if-else loops. I mean, if-else statements. They're not loops. Sorry. Which control each of the motors. So essentially, if motor A is not equal to 0, meaning it's 1, because this function sets the variable to either 1 or 0, it will set the power of motor A, which is the winch, to motor A over 2, which is going to be 50% speed. If that's not true, set the speed to 0. Makes sense, because then you don't want it to, as soon as you put it on, it will continue going on, it won't stop, which is bad, especially for a winch, because when you run out of slack, it will just bind up and stuff. You don't want that to happen. So, next we have the other one, which controls the truck, and it's set to over 4, so it's 25% speed, and same with the same with the turntable, which has also a divide by 4 to make it 25% speed, because these ones don't need to go as fast as the winch. That concludes the video here. If you liked it, please do not forget to subscribe and leave a like on this video. Also, please do not forget to leave a comment down below. See ya.